Today, we are talking about all of my favorite summer things, from clean beauty to clean home to sandals to workouts to beverages and food and more. So I know that you are going to be able to find a new favorite thing too. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Permission Slip Podcast, where I, empowerment coach, mindset expert, and holistic nutritionist Carmen share with you the tools, conversations, and resources you need to write your own permission slip, take massive action, and become obsessed with your own life. Let's get started. Thank you so much for joining us back on the Permission Slip podcast. I'm super excited about this episode. It's something a little bit lighter, and it's a most requested episode, actually. It is all of my favorite things. Well, not all of them, but just things that I'm really loving this summer, and I want to share them with you. So these are all products that I use and love pretty much almost daily, and I'll share with you why I love them. And I hope that you can find something that fills your day with more joy or more health, or just makes you feel really fucking good, right? Because isn't that what life is all about? Don't we want to just feel good every single freaking day? So let's just dive right in and get started with clean beauty. So if you've been following for a while, you know that I have been on a clean beauty, clean home, like all things clean, which means that the products that I use don't have a bunch of added chemicals in them. One of the reasons I'm so adamant about this is just because over years of having products that are not clean can create hormone imbalances and be a real detriment to your health. So makeup is something that has a ton of chemicals. A really good resource here is the Environmental Working Group. And they have an app, and it actually is, I think it's called Skin Deep. That's what it is. And you can actually scan barcodes of products, and it'll tell you what's in there that may be harmful. It may be an allergen. It may be cancer causing and different things like that. So you can use that as a check and balance for the products that you're using. So the brand that I've been loving most often is called, actually, I don't even know how to pronounce it, ILIA, I-L-I-A. And one of the things that blew me away was the mascara. So the Limitless Lash Mascara. I have been using L'Oreal Voluminous, full of chemicals, not good for you. I'm sticking it on my eye mascara for, wow, I want to say like decades. I don't even know, a long time. And I've been so resistant to changing because I haven't found anything that really just shines and plumps up my eyelashes. And I have really thick eyelashes to begin with, but I like something that just opens up my eyes, because my eyes and all of our eyes, that's where we can connect with people and the light enters in. And so this mascara is a clean beauty mascara, Limitless Lash Mascara. And don't worry, all of these things, you don't have to be writing them down. They're all linked 100% in the show notes. You can just go there, and if you want, you could leave a little rating and review, especially if you're in iTunes, because that's also very helpful for other people to get to the pod and hear this information. So the other product from this same brand is this Super Serum Skin Tint that has an SPF of 40. And I am 100% loving this because most days I don't want to wear heavy makeup here in Miami. I'm often walking and outside and riding my bike, and it's pretty humid, which creates sweat. It's warm in the summer, but I want something that's, one, protecting my skin with a good SPF, not a chemical one, and that's tinting my skin and hydrating it at the same time. So I highly, highly recommend both of those products. I think I talked about before the eyeshadow palette that I love from them too, but I don't have that linked in the notes, but it's also equally great. So let's move on to, let me share with you the slides or sandals that I have been wearing for months, like every day, almost like slippers. Like I have like a slipper pair for the house and an outside pair because they are so comfortable. I don't even remember how I stumbled upon these. They are not cute by any means. They kind of remind me of like moon boot sandals. They're not boots, but they're like thick and they just look plasticky and like uncomfortable, but they are like walking on clouds on pillows. They're Cushionaire women's feather slides. I want to say they're like $25 on Amazon. Like I said, I have a couple of pairs of them. I bought some for my niece for her birthday. They're not super aesthetically pleasing, but you know what? They feel really fucking good. And they're not super ugly either. So check them out. They are just, I wear them pretty much every single day. Okay, let's talk more about clean beauty. This was the one that I forgot I should have included when I was talking about the makeup that I'm loving. The moisturizer that I use every day and how I show my body so much love every morning during my morning rituals is Unrefined organic coconut oil. You get this anywhere. I did link in the show notes some travel packets that you can get. It's actually a company from that's local in Florida. Because sometimes when you pack the coconut oil, I have it like in a little mini mason jar in glass. I don't want to ever store anything in plastic, right? Because plastic has chemicals in it. I'll put it in a baggie, but it still like gets all over the place. So the travel packs are really awesome if you're traveling. So what I do with this as part of my morning ritual and showing my body love and speaking positive words over my body instead of the negative. Oftentimes we're always, speaking not as positive words over our body and ourselves is I brush and floss my teeth in the morning. And then I moisturize and rub in this coconut oil, unrefined organic coconut oil into my whole skin. It just moisturizes it and gives me such a wonderful glow. And I finish my other morning rituals and I go on my morning God walk and work out. And then I do take a shower, but my skin still seems to stay so moisturized. But the idea of me just giving so much gratitude and love to my body using this coconut oil is just so refreshing. It feels so good. And guess what? It is just such a great, awesome moisturizer. It also has a bunch of other benefits that I don't have super memorized, but I know it has some properties in there that it can kill like some bacteria. So if you have like a little bit of a sunburn, that it could be used as a natural deodorant, a natural SPF. So there are a lot of other things on there. So do your little Google research on there, but there's so many other great properties of using that coconut oil for your skin. Now, speaking of showering and skin, you all know that I love my big Berkey to filter my water, my drinking water, that is. And if you haven't heard of a big Berkey, it's basically this water filtration system that you set on your counter. It's a round and tall tower and it holds about 2 gallons of water is the one that I have. And there's these charcoal filters inside that filter out everything. So that's not even what I'm talking about. I think I've mentioned that before. But I want to share with you something that I realized once we moved into our new condo a few months back, which we love, by the way. We have such great views. It's open, it's light, it's beautiful. It just makes my heart so happy every single day waking up here. Was that I wasn't filtering the water that I was showering with. So I did some research and I found a really valuable shower filter with a vitamin C shower filter that you can buy on Amazon. It's really easy to install. Well, I say that because Joel didn't say it was hard to install. I had nothing to do with the installation of it. But it filters out so many things. So it filters out chlorine, fluoride, heavy metals, and more. Because just think about it. If you're filtering your water and you're drinking it, that's one thing. But the largest organ that you have is your skin. And you're not filtering what you're putting on your skin. I was like, Carmen, what the heck? And so since having that, I felt so much better with what I'm doing with my shower and the water that's going on the biggest organ of my body. When you first installed it, did have kind of like a weird smell. And then it goes away after I would say like the first like 4 days or so. So FYI on that. So let's get into a book that I really loved. I read actually a couple months ago, so I don't know if this counts as my favorite summer things, but I'm in a season of my life where I don't want to say doing more, but I'm taking an increased amount of focused, intentional, inspired action on things that make a big impact in my life or the lives of others. And that's really, really what I'm focused on. For a while, I got a little complacent in the success that I was having with my life, with my business, with everything. And God is really calling me up and calling me out this year to be able to use my gifts to serve in a bigger way. And so the book that I wanted to share with you, it's called Winning by Tim Grover, The Unforgiving Race to Greatness. So it is very heavily masculine energy, but that's something that I needed right now versus the feminine, the creativity, the slowing down, the sensual. So let me just read a little bit from this book. So if you're in a season of really wanting to go all in, but all in on your deepest priorities, focusing in, like this could be a good book for you. So Tim Grover is an athletic trainer. He trained Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade, people like that, Michael Jordan. So here we go. Okay. Fear is pressure. Doubt is panic. Fear says, I can do this. Doubt says, I'm fucked. You can prepare yourself, you can plan and organize and map out everything you want to do. But at some point, you have to take that jump into the unknown, let the fear flow through you, and believe with total confidence that you'll succeed. There are 4 components of winning that determine how you'll manage your fears and doubts and make that leap, or if you'll make it at all. Talent, intelligence, competitiveness, and resilience. But to win at the highest level, over and over, in all areas of your life, career, finances, health, family, whatever else you value, you need all 4. So that was just like a little sneak peek from the book. But if you're in that season, and we're all in different seasons, it's okay if you're like, Carmen, I am not in that season. I am trying to do less. Then that's totally fine. It may not be for you, but maybe in the future. The other book, well, actually journal that I want to share is our new Be the Light Transformational Journal. And each day of the journal, it actually gives you a set structured journal prompts. So they are 3 things I appreciate today. How do I want to feel today? What will make me feel this way? Today, I declare that I'm fully believing and manifesting. So you're actually writing out like those things are happening. And today I'll honor myself and my deepest priorities by, so you're focusing in on your deepest priorities. Then you have a little spot to write down like some tasks that you're going to be doing for the day. But then the magic really happens. So that might be if you just have a few minutes, you're going to run through that. But the magic really happens is also on the opposing page each day is a journal prompt, and there are 90 different journal prompts in this journal, and there are also quotes to keep you high vibe and inspired and motivated as well. So I'll read a couple of those to you. This journal prompt I opened to was, how can I elevate to allow for more opportunity and abundance? Kind of juicy, right? And so that's just a blank page where you get to free write and answer that question. And the quote on the bottom is, when we fulfill our function, which is to truly love ourselves and share the love with others, then true happiness sets in. And that's by Gabby Bernstein. The other one I opened to is, who is really inspiring me right now? And that's a journal prompt. You could write that out. Who's inspiring you and why, and how, when we see greatness in someone else, it's only because that greatness is in ourselves. So I don't want you to ever feel jealous of someone else's success, because they're having success. They're paving the way. They're showing you what's possible. It should build confidence within you. And the quote on the bottom of that page is, Indecision is the most exhausting thing you will ever do. And that's by Lori Harder. But this journal is really awesome because it's super quality, high quality pages, and it's a total hardcover and it's bound. And so you can take it and use it as much as you need. This episode is brought to you by the Life Coaching Summer School. Now, what is Life Coaching Summer School? It's all about building a better life for yourself and not having to choose between enjoying your summer and creating the life of your dreams. It's an opportunity to live a both and life. So an opportunity to enjoy the shit out of your summer, but still work to achieve your goals. Become more resilient when life happens, start keeping your commitments to yourself, challenging your own beliefs, questioning everything, and then getting curious, achieving optimal health, letting go of what no longer serves you. That could be people, places, or things, developing a connection to God, source, universe that's so strong that you become totally unshakable, and learning to connect with yourself and others on a deeper, more intentional level, learning self-awareness practices to catapult your growth, and really taking this idea that you have this big dream, this goal, this vision, developing that and breaking it down into aligned, energized, powerful action steps that are the next best steps for you. So isn't it time that you stopped letting your life simply pass you by, going from one goal to the next without celebrating or recognizing your accomplishments, or maybe just getting stuck overthinking everything? The Life Coaching Summer School, that's what it's all about. So if you're ready to have the shifts in your life that allow you to take quantum leaps over the next 2 months without sacrificing your summer, then click the link in the show notes and join us now. Okay, let's get back to my list of more favorite things. The next one listed is a workout. So, I'm into practicing daily movement, whatever that means for you. Maybe that's yoga, maybe that's walking outside, maybe that's weight training, HIIT training, whatever it is. I'm currently in a season where I am really lifting heavy 3 days a week. I'm doing one HIIT session, so one high intensity interval training session. And I am also doing 2 walks a day, like really, really moving. I'm doing yoga once a week. And then I also like to throw in something fun. So I've gone to a dance class. I plan to go to this crazy Cirque du Soleil kind of class and try that out soon. But one of the classes that I've tried and that I've really loved, and I've actually gone back repeat times, is Lagree. So if you're in South Beach with me in Miami Beach, it's called Level 1 by Lagree. It's on West Ave. And it is like Pilates on steroids. I've only done Pilates a handful of times in Colorado Springs, but it is so focused, and it's like weight training. To me, it's like providing resistance to your muscles and moving in different planes of motion, but doing it really freaking slow. So the time under tension on your muscle is like crazy. I remember the first time I went, I was like, yeah, this is going to be easy. I was like, holy shit, what is this thing? So it's just a different way to really sculpt your muscles. And I'm really loving it. So check it out. You could just look up Lagree and then look up a studio near you. One of my clients, actually, Amber, in the Portland, Oregon area, she told me about it a few years back, and I hadn't ever heard of it, and she really loved it too. So shout out to Amber if you're listening. Thank you for that. Okay, a couple more things on the list here, and they are beverages. So if you've been following me and following my journey, in last year, so 2021, I had a little health scare where I was experiencing chronic fatigue and some other rash issues. And I had to get a bunch of get mammograms and things on my breasts. Anyway, everything's good now. But one of the things I found out was I had basically my hormones were not balanced. So I had almost zero testosterone and progesterone, which was chronically elevating my estrogen and creating estrogen dominance in my body, in addition to my chronic activation of my nervous system, which just means I'm in a higher stress state almost all the time. And that's just something that I trained my body to do over time. And I'm continually training it not to do that anymore. But my blood sugar wasn't as regulated. So with that being said, one of the things I started doing was taking adaptogens. So adaptogens are supplements that you can take that are all natural. Things like you've probably heard of before: reishi, moringa, maca, ashwagandha. And I started making an adaptogen type latte. So I was mixing all of these things together. So specifically for me, I was taking ashwagandha, reishi. I was also adding cacao to it and maca root. And I was mixing that with like a battery powered milk frother. Is that the hardest word to say? Frother. In with some unsweetened almond milk. You could also use cashew milk. I do not recommend oat milk, by the way, because it's just straight carbohydrates full of glyphosate. No one needs glyphosate in their life. Anyway, I digress. So the product that I recently found is called Mud Water. So it is MUD/WTR. And so it's actually a great substitute. If you're really sensitive to coffee, you can do this in the morning and it'll give you natural energy. So the ingredients in the one that I've been using, which is the Rise one, is masala chai, which is black tea, ginger, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and black pepper. Has cacao. And then the adaptogens in there and mushrooms are going to be lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, reishi, and then turmeric, cinnamon, and Himalayan salt. All really, really good for you. It does taste a little earthy, so I do still add my organic liquid stevia to it. And sometimes I add a little extra scoop of unsweetened cacao, but not often. But this is like what I was doing individually with all of those, making my adaptogen latte every day. And now it's just all in one canister and it's so convenient. And if you don't do anything else, follow them on Instagram. They have the best posts. And I'm loving this. And so on the canister, it says, I wasn't mad at coffee. I was just disappointed. With 1/7 the caffeine of a cup of coffee, Mudwater supports energy, focus, and immunity without the jitters, crash, and dependency. This drink fuels your morning ritual in a way that would make Spartans smile and Buddha proud. So I'm really loving that. And especially if you're like me, that's in kind of that chronic state of nervous system activation, then it's really, really good to decrease the amount of caffeine that you're drinking. Now, along those same lines, something that I am now taking, because last year I went through a very strict regimen, a supplement protocol to get my hormones back on track, in addition to a nutrition protocol that was very, very specific. So I did this for 3 to 4 months. And it got me back on track. I'm happy to say I also decreased the amount of stressful workouts I was doing and things like that. So there's lots to it besides just the supplements and diet. But I also wanted to make sure that after I did those rounds of supplements, that I continue to take some supplements that still supported as like a maintenance level. And so the one that I take now that I find most beneficial to support my hormones health, female hormone health, is called Baseline Plus from Protea Nutrition. And again, all these links for everything I'm mentioning is going to be in the show notes. But the ingredients for this, it has folate, which is not folic acid, by the way. I don't recommend anybody taking folic acid because most people, I think it's like 44% of people actually can't assimilate and break down folic acid. And folic acid is in like all of our like cereals and baked goods and all of that. If you see anything that says like enriched, that means that they've added folic acid to it. And folic acid is not being able to break down folic acid has to do with a methylation issue in your body. And methylation basically, it tells your body how to break down and use B vitamins, to put it simply. So folate, going back to why I'm loving Baseline, it has actual folate, not folic acid. It has B12, It has chase tree berry extract, also known as Vitex. And that was something that I took straight. And so now I'm still getting like, when I was improving my hormones. And so now I'm still getting a little bit of that. It has DIM in there, which is actually a compound that's in cruciferous vegetables. That's really great for hormone balancing. And that maca root extract that I was talking about. And so this is a really, really great product to maintain the balance of your hormones, especially as you're getting older, if you're like in your like 30s, 40s, that sort of thing. Let's see. I think we're at the end. Oh no. How could I forget about this? I am absolutely in love with this brand called Ultima Replenisher. Ultima Replenisher is an electrolyte company. So it's a powder mix that you mix in water. And they have all sorts of flavors, including mocktails. And they came out most recently with the mocktails, which I love. But the standard flavors, they haven't had any new flavors in a long time. And they recently came out with one. And it is so perfect. I feel like it's like made for me for summer in Miami Beach and South Beach, like endless summer, but it's summer for all of us right now. And it is the passion fruit flavor. So Ultima has had no sugar in it, no carbs, no calories. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, it's keto, no artificial sweeteners. And it's so good for you because we don't realize how much our body needs electrolytes. So like magnesium, calcium, potassium, sodium. Yes, we do need sodium too. And you can get all of that from this Ultima Replenisher. And this flavor is freaking off the charts. So how I use it is in the morning, I first have my lemon with my chlorophyll, lemon water with chlorophyll, has like 20 ounces. And then right away, I do supplement with the Ultima Replenisher. So my next 20 ounces has Ultima Replenisher in it. And then I also have one after I work out to replenish my body. So I usually have about 2 servings per day. Sometimes I make fun mocktails at night with all the different flavors. Even if you don't have the mocktail version of it, it's still like super, super good. Okay, we got to the end. We talked about all the favorite things. So I can't wait to hear from you. Let me know, shoot me a DM, tag me on your Instagram stories. If someone tags me on their Instagram stories and tells me what their favorite thing was that from this episode was, I'll give it like 2 weeks from this episode airing, and I will pick one and I will send a copy of my new journal to you, which will be super fun. And I want to hear from you what you're trying and what you're loving. And I just want to tell you, I am so, so grateful for you listening each week to these podcasts. And if you ever have feedback or questions for me, I'm in my DMs every day on Instagram. Well, Sunday, I do usually take Sunday off. But every other day, shoot me a message. Let's chat. I want to hear from you. And if you haven't already grabbed your spot for the Permission Slip Retreat, which is our signature retreat, that is way more than a retreat. It's an experience. It's an adventure. It's a self-love, self-care girls trip. Like, it is freaking amazing. It's in Tulum, October 8th through 11th. Check that out in the show notes too. I highly, highly encourage you to do that, as there's only a handful of spots left. So thank you again, and I will talk to you next week.